Welcome to Rare Coin Master. Discover rare coins, hidden treasures, and million-dollar stories hiding in your pocket change. In the world of coin collecting, there are tales that spark curiosity, stories that make collectors' hearts race, and then there are legends, like the story of the 2001 Elizabeth II one-penny coin. It may seem small and unassuming at first glance, yet this humble copper-plated steel disc carries a tale of mystery, royal legacy, and extraordinary value that has stunned even the most seasoned numismatists. Today, we unravel the journey of this iconic British coin and reveal why it has captured the fascination of the world, making headlines for its jaw-dropping valuation of $80 million. It begins in the early years of the 21st century, a time when the United Kingdom was transitioning through rapid modernization, yet holding tightly to its deep-rooted traditions. In 2001, Queen Elizabeth II had already reigned for nearly half a century, embodying a symbol of stability and continuity for the British people. The Royal Mint, ever committed to honoring the monarchy and the nation's cultural heritage, continued producing coins that carried more than monetary value, they bore history itself. Among the many coins minted that year was the one penny, a denomination often overlooked, passed from hand to hand without a second thought. But not this one. This one was different. The 2001 Elizabeth II one-penny coin, at its core, is a remarkable blend of design precision, regal symbolism, and subtle rarity. It weighs just 3.56 grams and has a diameter of 20.3 millimeters. Its composition? Copper-plated steel, a shift that had occurred only a few years prior when the Royal Mint decided to move away from bronze for cost efficiency. But while the material had changed, the soul of the coin remained very much intact. On the obverse, the coin proudly displays the effigy of Queen Elizabeth II, facing right, wearing the Girls of Great Britain and Ireland tiara, a portrait crafted by Ian Rank Broadley, whose initials IRB sit subtly beneath the neckline. This portrait was widely praised for its realism and maturity, showcasing Her Majesty with grace and dignity. The reverse of the coin features the badge of the Palace of Westminster, commonly known as the portcullis, a heavy gate traditionally associated with British Parliament and government authority. Atop the gate, a royal crown rests with elegance. Encircling the emblem is the denomination one penny, and at the bottom, the word 2001 anchors the coin in its rightful place in time. For many, this was just another penny, worth a mere fraction of a pound. But fate had other plans for a select few of these coins. Now, here's where things take a fascinating turn. While the Royal Mint produced millions of one-penny coins in 2001, a microscopic batch, perhaps only a handful, was struck under extraordinary circumstances. It's believed that a rare minting error, combined with a unique distribution channel, led to the creation of a variant so rare, so unlike its counterparts, that its value skyrocketed over time. These rare pennies somehow avoided circulation. They weren't given out in grocery change or found in the depths of couch cushions. They were quietly collected, stored, and forgotten, until one was rediscovered in a private estate in northern England in pristine, uncirculated condition. This discovery ignited a wave of speculation and frenzy among collectors. Could it be that this ordinary-looking coin was a once-in-a-lifetime treasure? The coin was sent for expert analysis, and what they found left them stunned. Not only did this particular coin have flawless detail and sharp edges, suggesting it was one of the first struck by a fresh die, but it also bore subtle die alignment variations and microscopic inconsistencies in metal composition. These deviations, invisible to the untrained eye, marked the coin as an anomaly, a specimen likely struck during a transitional production phase or perhaps an experimental test strike that was never meant to see the light of day. The authentication report sealed its fate. This was no ordinary coin. Its condition, combined with the rare error and limited existence, made it a unicorn in the numismatic world. Within weeks, collectors from around the globe began placing staggering offers. First 1 million. Then 5. Then 10. By the time the coin was brought to auction, it had become the most sought-after British coin of its generation. Bidding was fierce, and when the final gavel struck, the 1-penny coin had been sold for a mind-blowing $80 million, forever etching its name into the record books as one of the most valuable coins ever sold. But why would anyone pay such an enormous amount for a coin that, at face value, could buy nothing more than a paperclip? The answer lies in a blend of history, scarcity, and symbolic power. Coins are time capsules. They are monuments in miniature, reflecting the values, rulers, and events of their era. This 2001 Elizabeth II penny is not just metal, it's monarchy, legacy, and mystery all rolled into one. Its allure lies in what it represents: the end of one era and the quiet anticipation of another. Queen Elizabeth II's long and revered reign was approaching its final decades, and to possess a coin minted during her golden years is to hold a tangible piece of history in your hand. Moreover, for collectors, rarity is the holy grail. The knowledge that there may only be one, or at most, a few, of these coins in existence turns it into something beyond a collectible. It becomes art, investment, and national heritage all in one. Museums clamored for it. Private investors viewed it as a trophy asset. Even heads of state reportedly showed interest, not only for its monetary worth but for its historical weight. The story of the 2001 1-penny coin also reignited global interest in British coinage. People everywhere began checking their change, scouring old jars and drawers in the hopes that they too might stumble upon a forgotten gem. Coin forums buzzed with speculation, and the Royal Mint itself issued a cautious statement urging the public to be wary of counterfeits while celebrating the global enthusiasm for British numismatics. The coin had become more than a relic, it was now a cultural phenomenon. But let's not forget the emotional pull of this coin. For many Brits, the penny has long been part of their everyday lives, a token of childhood piggy banks, of grandparents handing out shiny coins as treats, of savings and simple pleasures. To see such a familiar object transcend into the realm of multi-million-dollar artifacts was both surreal and nostalgic. It made people reflect on how something so small, so humble, can carry stories that span continents and generations. Today, the legendary 2001 1-penny sits securely in a private collection, occasionally loaned out to exhibitions under tight security. When displayed, it draws crowds larger than some entire museums. People travel across countries just to glimpse it, to feel the aura of a coin that defies logic and defines destiny. Security guards flank the display. Cameras blink constantly. And behind glass, bathed in gentle light, the penny sits, a silent witness to a world that never saw it coming. In a world where most people overlook the value of what's right in front of them, one small, copper-plated coin has risen from the shadows to make history. At just 1 penny, its face value suggests insignificance. But the truth is, this tiny 2005 Elizabeth II United Kingdom 1-penny coin has stunned collectors, investors, and historians across the globe. Not because of its age, not because of its size, but because of a story hidden in plain sight. Today, We unveil a coin that has transformed from common currency to a multimillion-dollar legend, now valued at a staggering $50 million. At first glance, it appears to be just another penny. Small, round, and copper-colored. But as with many of history's most powerful relics, the magic isn't in what meets the eye, it's in what lies beneath the surface. Back in 2005, the world was shifting. Technology was evolving rapidly. Britain was reshaping its identity within a modern Europe. And in the background, Queen Elizabeth II remained the quiet heartbeat of the nation, a monarch who had served for over 5 decades, witnessing more change than any sovereign before her. In that climate of transformation, the Royal Mint continued its tradition of producing the UK's coins. But something unexpected happened that year, something that would quietly write a new chapter in numismatic history. Among the hundreds of millions of coins struck in 2005, there was a tiny handful, some say fewer than 10, that were unlike any others. It wasn't a difference you could spot casually. These coins were minted with microscopic precision errors, incredibly sharp-edged details, and a strange metallic inconsistency that made them appear subtly different under the right light. What made them even more extraordinary was not just the rarity but the mystery surrounding how they came to exist in the first place. Were they early test strikes? Experimental batches? Unrecorded limited editions? Even the Royal Mint itself has remained silent, adding fuel to the mystery. And one of these very coins, the crown jewel of them all, is what we're going to talk about today, the one that shattered all expectations and sold for $50 million. To truly understand the beauty of this coin, let's explore its design. The obverse bears the mature portrait of Queen Elizabeth II, designed by Ian Rank Broadley. This version of the Queen shows her wearing the iconic Girls of Great Britain and Ireland tiara. The level of detail in this image is extraordinary, the subtle lines on the face, the refined rendering of the hair, the dignified gaze. It's not just a monarch's image, it's a nation's quiet pride struck in steel and copper. This was not a young queen, it was a seasoned leader, graceful and composed, still standing as a pillar of stability in an ever-changing world. Surrounding her portrait are the words Elizabeth II DG Reg. FD 2005, standing for De Grazia Regina Fidei Defensor, by the grace of God, Queen, Defender of the Faith. It's more than a title. It's history pressed into metal. On the reverse, we see the familiar badge of the Palace of Westminster, the iconic portcullis topped with a crown, a symbol long associated with the British Parliament. The gate represents governance, strength, tradition. It's a design that seems simple but is rich in meaning. This is not a modern art piece meant to impress with flair. It's a declaration of British identity, solid, historical, enduring. The denomination is clearly written, 1 penny. Yet this particular coin defies that description in the most unimaginable way. You might ask, what makes this coin worth millions when millions of others just like it were produced? The answer is hidden in the perfection and imperfection of its creation. Experts believe that this coin was struck with an unusually sharp die, possibly a proof die used accidentally on a circulation blank. That means the coin's features are crisper, cleaner, almost 3D in their depth. Under magnification, the rim appears almost flawless, the lettering sharper than usual, and the luster extraordinarily intact. And yet, when tested under spectrographic analysis, the metal content shows anomalies, suggesting this coin wasn't just from any standard batch. This tiny error, possibly a fluke, created what is now one of the most valuable coins in the world. it wasn't discovered in a vault or museum. It wasn't gifted to royalty or politicians. It was found, as many treasures are, in the most unexpected place, a dusty old drawer in a home in rural Wales. A retired school teacher, while cleaning out a box of foreign and local coins saved over decades, stumbled across a 2005 penny that just looked a little too new. Curious, he took it to a local coin shop, who immediately noticed something unusual. From there, it went to a major coin grading service. The rest, as they say, is history. That one penny, once forgotten, went on to become the most talked about coin in the UK. And eventually, it made its way to an elite international auction where it was sold to a private collector for an astonishing $50 million. This sale sent shockwaves through the numismatic world. Social media erupted with videos, reactions, and wild theories. Everyone started looking into their drawers, their jars, their wallets, hoping to find the next hidden gem. The Royal Mint was flooded with inquiries. Coin valuation websites saw record traffic. The humble penny was no longer overlooked. It was now seen as a possible goldmine. Collectors understand that value doesn't always come from what something is supposed to be, it often comes from what it isn't. Anomalies. Rarities. One-of-a-kind mistakes. A coin that shouldn't exist the way it does is exactly what makes it priceless. And when that coin represents a figure like Queen Elizabeth II, a monarch whose legacy stretches across generations and continents, the value multiplies. Every aspect of that 2005 one-penny coin tells a story, from its flawless design to its accidental rarity, from its royal connection to its mysterious origin. It's a coin that shouldn't have mattered, but does, and let's not ignore the emotional connection. In the UK, pennies are part of childhood memories, given by grandparents, saved in piggy banks, tossed into fountains for wishes. To think that such a familiar object could turn out to be a multi-million-dollar treasure adds a magical realism to the story. It gives everyone hope that hidden within the ordinary might be something truly extraordinary. Today, the legendary 2005 penny is held in a private European collection, stored in a climate-controlled vault, seen only on rare occasions at major exhibitions. When displayed, it draws queues of curious visitors and collectors alike. Cameras flash. Security guards watch. Children press their faces to the glass. And there it sits, quiet, small, coppery, and yet worth more than a mansion, a yacht, or even a fleet of luxury cars. In a world where most people walk past change on the ground without a second thought, there exists one tiny coin that has rewritten the rules of rarity, wealth, and history. It's small enough to rest on your fingertip, common enough to be overlooked, yet powerful enough to spark a bidding war among billionaires. That coin is the 2008 Elizabeth II United Kingdom one penny, yes, a coin whose face value is just 1/100th of a British pound, but whose hidden story has transformed it into one of the most valuable and talked about coins in numismatic history, now estimated to be worth an astonishing $70 million. Let's take a moment and go back to the year 2008. The world was entering a period of uncertainty. Financial markets were crashing, economies were trembling, and people were clinging to anything stable. In the United Kingdom, Queen Elizabeth II still reigned with dignity and quiet strength, a symbol of endurance through decades of change. In the Royal Mint, changes were happening too, changes that would unknowingly give birth to a modern-day treasure. In this year, the Mint released a brand new series of designs for the reverse of the UK's circulating coins. The one-penny coin, traditionally stamped with the crowned portcullis design, was replaced by something bold, fresh, and distinctly modern, a fragment of the royal shield. The new reverse design for the 2008 1-penny coin showed the lower left section of the royal shield of arms, a detailed, artistic representation meant to unify all UK coins in a single, puzzle-like design. When arranged together from the 1 penny to the 50 pence, the shield would appear complete. This bold move by the Royal Mint brought fresh interest to everyday coinage, reminding the public that money wasn't just currency, it was a canvas of national identity. The obverse side of the coin remained constant, bearing the refined portrait of Queen Elizabeth II designed by Ian Rank Broadley. Her regal face, framed by the iconic Girls of Great Britain and Ireland tiara, is as graceful as ever. The inscription Elizabeth II DG Reg. FD 2008 surrounds her likeness, a Latin abbreviation that quietly says so much: by the grace of God, Queen, Defender of the Faith. For years, nobody noticed. These anomaly coins slipped into circulation quietly. A few were stashed away in jars, others ended up in bank vaults, and some simply vanished into time. It wasn't until a curious collector in Birmingham examined his change under a magnifying glass that he spotted something strange. A 2008 penny, but with the wrong design. He brought it to a coin dealer. The dealer's hand shook as he confirmed the discovery. They weren't just looking at a mistake. They were looking at what could be one of the rarest coins ever produced in modern Britain. News spread quickly. Experts analyzed the coin. The Royal Mint, when approached for comment, acknowledged the possibility of a small number of error coins being released unintentionally during the design transition. Though they declined to confirm how many were minted, most experts believe fewer than 10 such coins exist, possibly even fewer than 5. That level of rarity instantly skyrocketed its value beyond comprehension. But what made this particular penny even more valuable was its perfect condition. Unlike most coins that pass through hundreds of hands, this one was virtually untouched, its surface gleaming, edges crisp, and design details razor-sharp. Word of the coin's uniqueness reached international collectors, museums, and even royal historians. As whispers grew louder, collectors began making offers. First thousands, then hundreds of thousands, and eventually millions. The coin's fame exploded across forums, numismatic societies, and social media platforms. When it finally went to auction at a prestigious house in London, it was under tight security, treated like a crown jewel. The bids climbed rapidly, surpassing all expectations. And when the hammer finally fell, it was sold for an eye-watering $70 million, making it one of the most expensive coins ever sold. What makes this story even more remarkable is the symbolism behind the error. It wasn't just a technical mistake, it was a transition captured in metal. A coin meant to represent the future accidentally held on to the past. It was as if the old design, loyal and dignified, refused to be forgotten. And so, the 2008 penny became more than a currency piece. It became a symbol of continuity, a tribute to the Queen's reign, and a priceless relic of a moment when Britain was rewriting its identity. People from all over the world began searching their change for the elusive 2008 error penny. Coin clubs saw a surge in membership. Children began learning about minting processes. Museums featured coin exhibits inspired by the story. One tiny penny had reignited a passion for history and collecting across all ages. But why would someone pay $70 million for a coin with such a small face value? Because for serious collectors, rarity, story, and symbolism matter far more than metal or weight. This wasn't just a coin, it was the only known misprint of its kind, produced during a historic changeover, linked directly to the legacy of a monarch who shaped the world. For the winning bidder, it wasn't a purchase. It was a once-in-a-lifetime acquisition of something that can never be recreated. Today, this legendary coin is housed in a state-of-the-art secure facility owned by a private collector. It's occasionally loaned to exhibitions under strict supervision. When on display, it attracts crowds who marvel at how such a small item can hold such immense power. Visitors stare in awe. Cameras flash. Experts lecture. And yet, through it all, the penny remains quiet, still, unchanged in size but forever transformed in meaning. Its journey from unnoticed error to global phenomenon is one of the most extraordinary tales in coin collecting history. And it reminds us of something beautiful, that the ordinary can become extraordinary when paired with time, rarity, and a touch of magic. You never know when the world might suddenly decide that something forgotten is actually a treasure. And maybe, just maybe, there's another out there, lying in a drawer, resting at the bottom of a jar, waiting to be found by someone who looks just a little bit closer. For those passionate about numismatics, this coin is a holy grail. For historians, it is a snapshot of royal and national evolution. And for dreamers, it is proof that even the smallest, most overlooked things can make the biggest impact. This is the story of a 2008 Elizabeth II one-penny coin that defied logic, challenged expectations, and claimed a value once thought impossible. It's more than money. It's memory. It's mystery. It's history. And it just might be hiding in your home right now. If you love discovering hidden treasures and rare coins with amazing stories, don't forget to like, share, and most importantly, hit that subscribe button and join the adventure.